Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, feels like it's been forever since I've been on. My hair looks crazy right now. My hair looks crazy. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I asked what this conversation is going to be about, and what I heard is it all starts now. So something is starting. Um, I'm hoping that it's something really good, right? I'm hoping that it is something that we can all kind of, I don't know, enjoy maybe. It'd be good to enjoy a reading for once rather than just like, oh my God, oh hell no. Oh, hell no. Okay. So let's see. I don't know about you guys, but this week has been super just good, but exhausting. Like needing to rest more, needing to kind of, I don't know, have some pep talks with self. Does that make sense? It hasn't been a bad week. As a matter of fact, it's been a really good week, but it's just been, I've been tired. Tired. It's okay. What's new? Nothing. What's new? Nothing. Let's get started. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Your soul is setting some things up, and these things are creating or are going to create a type of alignment that is necessary. Hold on. Let me grab two more from this deck because heaven forbid it not be perfectly symmetrical. Ooh, okay. Oh, this one's out already. Oh, uh-huh. Hush that fuss. Everybody move to the back of the bus. Uh-huh. Okay. So this is telling me a whole ass story. This is telling me there's a lot of correction that's happening. Your soul is correcting so much right now. Don't fall for the BS, okay? I think for some of us, I think it's been some type of thing where it's like something tries to suck you in, to pull you in, drag you down. Something's trying so hard to get you to repeat old patterns. Don't do it, baby. Don't do it. Don't do it. Boundaries, right? These boundaries that exist are things that should, the feel is help you better understand what you've already come out the other side of. I like that. I do. I like that. You've already gotten through to the other side of this. Don't go back in there. Don't go back in there. Maybe it's a thing of something inviting you to return back to spaces that you've already outgrown, spaces that you've already processed. Like, no, you're set up really nice right now. Very, very nicely set up. Very, very nicely organized. Just leave it at that. Okay, leave it at that. And you might notice that there are things trying so hard to get you into like a more toxic mindset, maybe an old way of being, an old pattern. And it's something that is very subtle. So be careful, okay? Be very, very mindful. What your soul is trying to do is get you set up just right so that coming this autumn, you have a whole season that you still have to live through. This season being summer. What comes after summer? Autumn. Hello. Sorry. So your soul is trying to get everything rectified by the end of summer so that come autumn, you will be very beautifully positioned in your life. And of course, if soul is doing that, there are going to be some stuff, some things, beings, people, I don't know, that are going to try so hard to knock you on your ass. They're going to try so hard to kind of create issues. So hold on. With that being said, I'm changing something. All right. There. Only my subs on YouTube can comment. I'm not interested in any bullshit or allowing any opportunity for bullshit or bullshit people to be able to insert themselves into anything that I'm doing. You have to be proactive through this. You can't just wait for caca to show up. You have to no, absolutely not. I will not be accepting any deliveries that are not already something that I am expecting, right? Not allowing any of those surprises. I think if you go ahead and do that, the intensification of what's happening is going to reduce. This means, this is telling me something is a better way to put it. Something is trying to knock you off of your center point. They don't have good intentions. Whatever this thing is, might be a person, might be a being, I don't know. It does not have good intentions. What does that mean? That you can't allow it. That's what that means. You cannot allow this. I don't know what this is referring to be honest. I don't know what this is referring to, but you can't allow it. You can't allow nonsensical things to have access to you. You have to clear it out. And I think for some of you, it's going to be a thing of you gaslighting yourself into a space of thinking that you're just imagining things. Babe, honey, baby boo. Are you accurate or are you not? If you're providing services where you are doing readings and stuff for people and your clients consistently tell you how accurate you are, okay, stop with the nonsense of thinking you're imagining things. You read people and circumstance so accurately. You read it so accurately. Stop playing around with yourself at this point, okay? When you get that guidance, because your soul is going to give you that guidance. Your soul is letting you know, like, hey, this one, that one right there, that one that's trying to get your attention, that one that's trying to get access to you, that one that's trying to guilt you in order to get you in a space where you're going to do or even be the one to offer what the heck they want. Leave that one alone. You better leave that one alone. I'm not joking. You better leave that one alone. Don't allow access to you. Do not allow any type of parasitic access to you. Let me exhale. Why are we not going to allow any type of access to us? Well, first off, what your soul is trying to do is correct what happened last winter. Whatever it was that kind of fell apart, broke down, broke up, whatever it is, your soul is trying to clear that out. Remember, where's the other card? Cleansing, right? Hold on. Your winter was upside down because there was just some caca that needed to be cleaned away, and your soul's cleaning that away. Let it clean it away. Let it clear out the things that need to be cleared out. Stop fighting your own process. Why? Because if you don't, your summer is about to go upside down. Whatever it is that's happening right now, it's for your favor. It's in your favor. It's for your growth, for your healing, for all of this really beautiful, beautiful stuff. If you could just get out of your own way. Stop allowing yourself to sabotage what your soul is setting up for you. Okay? Ooh, I'm getting this message of this is a time to aggressively pursue the things that you need to pursue. I don't like that message for one reason and one reason alone. It gives toxic people an opportunity to use my words to pursue things that don't want them. If it's not reciprocated, leave it alone. Okay, if you're thinking about some type of romantic connection, here comes the T word. If you're thinking someone's your twin and they have no interest in you, they're not reciprocating, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Seriously, leave it alone, because it's seeming like your soul already took some yucky stuff out. So just leave that be. For the things that you should pursue, I think it has more to do with opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, pursue these opportunities that are very, very supportive of your healing, supportive of your growth. Pursue these opportunities that are going to help further stabilize your financials. And for a lot of people that you're feeling like, financials are a little bit iffy right now, a little bit sketchy, a little bit imbalanced. Okay, a lot of people are feeling that. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay that way, but you have to pursue the opportunities that will help you to rebalance your financials. If it is a healthy circumstance, and be honest with yourself if you can't tell the difference between healthy and unhealthy. If you know for a fact it is a healthy circumstance, you don't have to pursue it with moderation. Oh, I'm feeling someone's attention right now. Who is it? Someone hopped on, maybe not in the live, but I feel their attention. What is it? What do I need to know about that? A lot of the attention has really nothing to do with me, to be honest. Moonstone Mama, is it you? I like you, so it's okay if it's you. No, this is a very, it's like a very intense, it's very intense. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And then we have the folks who are like, you don't know what it is? How do you not know what it is? Because I don't want to know. Not everything that catches my attention deserves it. And I think it has to do with TikTok. Huh. Let that percolate. Let me the positioning of my phone holder, it's making me look extra small. I feel some way about that. Just because you caught my attention for a moment doesn't mean you deserve it. So, and I said what I said. I have no shame about what I said. I mean every word. It's time for you guys to realize whatever you pay attention to, that's what you're paying your energy towards. That's what you're paying your energy towards. And it's not to say that I'm snooty and I don't think anyone deserves my attention. Quite a few of you deserve my attention. Yeah. Y'all are healthy though. Y'all are healthy. Y'all are people who are just drawn, and it's a reciprocated thing. You're drawn to me, I'm drawn to you. There's no disrespect, there's no crossing boundaries, there's no disregarding of my personal needs, your personal needs. It's a healthy exchange, right? I'm talking about the unhealthy exchanges. Not everything is worthy of you and your payment in energy and focus. You need to begin learning the difference. You need to begin learning the difference. You need to begin understanding just how powerful your focus and your attention actually is. When you set an intent, what? Mm-hmm. What? Mm. Yes. Yes. Mm. Mm-hmm. I see right there. I should have opened that later because that irritated me. That definitely irritated me. Why? Because it's an attempt to irritate me. Something that is potentially benign. But I can feel the energy of it kind of has a low grade attempt to irritate, right? So before I forget, all right. It's a boundary. It's definitely a boundary, right? So let me go ahead and screenshot that, send it to the group chat. These are important things. These are very, very important things, right? Creating that boundary, understanding when there is some type of low key, low grade attempt to divert your attention, giving it the appropriate amount of attention that it needs in order to initiate a correction, and then pulling your energy back and refocusing all of it on the task at hand. You guys are seeing how this plays out in real life right now. In real life right now, right? So, revision. Maybe once upon a time you used to allow your energy to be drawn towards things that really are not worthy of your time, worthy of your focus. There are certain things that simply need to be addressed very quickly, very, very much in a succinct manner, right? And then there are other things that are intended to drain you to the degree that your brilliance is dulled. So, what needs to happen now? What is it? Well, you need to acknowledge what the friction is about. I've been on this intense personal journey as of the last couple weeks, maybe even couple months, where I've just really been massively flexing my autonomy, massively flexing my power over myself, my journey, who has access, who does not, the degree of access, the degree of intensity of that access, and really just staying within my space of centeredness. Like I feel a shifting inside me that feels uncomfortable to a certain degree because these are muscles that I haven't used in a very long time. What muscle is that? The muscle that allows me to effectively, efficiently, very powerfully communicate my need, my boundary, and your place within that. It's a very beautiful thing. Uncomfortable, but beautiful nonetheless. Ooh, I love this. I love this because this is taking us to spaces within ourselves where we're really going to allow this growth. I mean, it's up to you. If you're going to allow it, beautiful. If you're not going to allow it, that's still a choice. And you are exercising your sovereign right to choose. That's powerful. I hope you use that power in a empowering way, right? Rather than choosing to kind of just be victim to the circumstance, choosing to allow yourself to just be like a byproduct of what's happening. You're more than a byproduct, and you're more than capable of shifting the trajectory of what you're experiencing. All of this starts right now. I had an amazing event. It was a long weekend event very recently. And this event was powerful. Oh, powerful. There were certain types of circumstance that really required me to be fully present in what I chose, how I was choosing to allow this experience to be experienced by me and everyone that was there. It was amazing. It was a little bit intimidating at first. At first, it was a little bit intimidating because I've never experienced energy in this way, which says a lot. That's a very rare thing for me to say. I never experienced energy in that way. And when I experienced it in that way and it shook me from my space of centeredness, it required me to gain control of what was surging through me in a very uncomfortable manner. I repeatedly had to tell myself, get in control. Get in control. I made the decision to excuse myself from public view as I struggled to believe that I had the right to be in control. Not only was it my right to control the way that energy flowed and surged through me, it was my obligation and duty to everyone that was present during that experience to be able to responsibly and intentionally harness that energy. And man, oh man, it was powerful. Powerful. So powerful that at one point there were two rainbows that showed up at the same time. One of the rainbows was at the top. The second rainbow towards the bottom was a stacking of three separate layers of rainbow, full spectrum rainbows, three layers of that. Four rainbows all together simultaneously. It was beautiful. Evidence of the promise to self, evidence of the promise to soul. I saw it as a sign that not only did I navigate that challenging circumstance, I did so in a very beautiful, very empowering, self-empowering and empowering for the group type of way, because I didn't just hold that energy inside me. I'm not a greedy person naturally. That's not within my character to be greedy. So what happened? I shared it with everyone present. One at a time, they sat with me and I gave them back what was rightfully theirs to begin with, because I realized, I recognized, and I honored this awareness that developed, that this energy that surged through me and my body was able to do so because of the presence of everyone that was there. So it didn't belong to me, it belonged to us. It belonged to us. Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. Everything in creation is conspiring for your growth, your healing, which really is your return back to your wholeness. For some of us, we have not restored and replenished enough. And this card in reverse is telling me that you need to allow more of that restoration and replenishment to occur. You have to stop being stingy with that opportunity to heal back into a space of wholeness. For others of us, this card in reverse is telling me you've already done it. You're right there. You're right there. You've done it. And you now simply have to allow the next part to take place. What's the next part? I don't know, but I'm feeling like it's something ridiculously powerful. It's feeling ridiculously powerful. Do you guys feel, sense, or are simply observing some type of shift in me? Do I feel different to you? Do I feel different? Just different. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Different. And if you are noticing a difference in the way my energy and my presence is registering to you right now, if you feel comfortable with it, please do share the difference that you feel. And I don't believe there's a right or a wrong in what you are perceiving. I think there's just a need for us to acknowledge that it's okay for us to change. It's okay to allow the shift that allows you to face life from a different angle, a different perspective, a different point of view. And all of that's accurate. Moonstone Mama says your energy is different at different times of the day. Today, you have a calmness that I treasure. Ooh, I love it. Oh my God. I love you, Moonstone Mama. I love you. Yes, more present and confident. Thank you, Catherine. Sometimes you're fired up when I need someone to be fired up too. Yeah, we're mirrors of each other, and that holds true for all of us as a community. We all mirror each other in ways that we need to see aspects of ourselves we're afraid to see. Right. So right now, where is my energy at? I would say exactly where it needs to be, speaking in a way that can be received by the people who are ready to receive it. Removing my opinions, removing my personal emotions. Why? Like, are you saying we shouldn't feel? No, I'm saying I've already felt what needed to be felt. And now I simply have to deliver the message that soul has tasked me to deliver. And when I experience these periods where it's nonstop attempting to agitate me, I need to make a choice. Will I allow or will I disallow? Is this something where I can just simply sit and exist and deliver the message and allow more of my truth to shine through with no effort? And there are times where emotions must be involved. There are times when you need to speak in such a way that people are shook down to their core. And in that shaking, you're liberating them from the shackles. Some shackles can be removed by simply feeling shook. And then there are some times where we need to leave the shackles be, because really the whole point of the conversation is to allow you to recognize it is your job, it is your duty, your obligation to self as well as soul to consciously choose to remove the shackles that have kept you confined. It all starts right now. It all starts right now. What are you going to choose for yourself? Because whatever you choose is what's going to be used as a color palette for what you are coloring. It's in those colors that you are using the frequencies that then begin to shape your experience and your perception of it. So, visions of life beyond death. You need to be able to see yourself and who you're becoming beyond this process that some will categorize as an ego death. You have multiple layers and levels of ego, just like you have multiple layers and levels of higher self. And sometimes when we outgrow the lower levels of ego, the levels that cause us to function strictly out of a space of trying to prove that we are worthy, trying to validate ourselves through other people's interactions. When that is phased out, you go through an ego death, right? And as you go through that ego death, you feel as though part of you is dying. You need to be able to see the person that's emerging from the rubble of the deconstruction. It's intentional. What you're going through is intended by soul. Even if it's a human being doing this to you, whatever this refers to, even if it's another human, it is being allowed by soul to initiate a process, because it all starts now. The next part that you've been waiting for so long, it all starts now. Do we have to know what it is? I don't know. It depends. How does your brain function? Are you someone that absolutely needs to know before you can return back to a space of compliance with the will of soul? It's going to be hard, because soul doesn't always disclose all the details so that you can gain some degree of understanding before you comply. Sometimes soul will allow you to struggle with the realization that you don't know what you don't know. So for this event that I just had, um soul beyond one sometimes. So I sent all the participants a map. It was a screenshot of the map, and it shows them very clearly where the meeting point is, because a shuttle was going to come pick them up. And, I kind of had to laugh to myself, because the image that was forwarded via email to all the participants, that was a challenging email. That was a challenging visual because it shows a dirt parking lot in the middle of the forest, like no civilization nearby. Ooh, that's scary. A lot of people who join me at my event are people who have never placed trust in someone or something else. They were traveling alone for the first time in their life. They were allowing their soul to have control of what they were experiencing. It was a very scary thing to feel like you have no control, right? Very scary thing. Me personally, I don't know that I would have shown up at a dirt parking lot, not knowing who will be there, not knowing what is waiting in the middle of nowhere. Oh my Lord, that's scary. That's scary. But here's the thing, for those that did do it, right? For those that went ahead and they trusted their soul, not me, but their soul, that they are heavily shielded and protected and no harm would come to them. And it was not my intention to scare people. It was my intention to give very clear instructions as to where we would meet. Those people experienced something far beyond what words or humans could ever explain. It was a coming home to a soul tribe. It was a family reunion. It was profound. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I feel the surging of emotions as I recall what was experienced together as a group, what we witnessed, what we spoke about, what we allowed to come back home and place us back in our space of center. Your center point is where your throne room is. There is a seat there, custom built just for your tush. Aren't you tired of this internal war that causes you to feel you must always stay standing ready to fight? Uh, in that moment of trust, it's like we all sat down together collectively on our own thrones and just allowed, just allowed. It all starts right now. And the things that are happening to you, your soul is allowing these things to happen to you. It's not for punishment, it's to serve as the impetus for your inspiration. It's the starting point of every single dream you have ever had for yourself, for your life, for your family. Every single one of those dreams are being allowed to come to fruition if you allow it. If you allow your soul to guide you through this process, you will experience this for yourself. It all starts right now. It all starts right now. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm allowing myself to see in 360 and not just 180. Right? I'm allowing myself to see and feel the full spectrum. See this card focused on the light, but it's in reverse. Focus on the light, focus on the shadow, focus on the full spectrum. Allow yourself to return back into that space of wholeness. In order to be whole, you need to allow all your parts to come back home. And I think a very powerful thing is to not just allow it to come back home, but to invite it. Ooh, ooh, invite it. Invite it. And of course, you'll have the people who don't understand and are committed to not understanding the words that I'm saying. This message is not for you. These are the people who will say, oh my God, she's telling you to welcome darkness. Darkness is not intrinsically evil. Evil things can be done in the shadows because the cowards will hide there, afraid that people will see what they're attempting, knowing their efforts will be thwarted if they do it in the light. So I don't know who referred me to what, but apparently someone's been promoting and talking about my work and my videos, and thank you. Thank you. But I've had an uptick of people who are committed to not understanding the words that are coming out my mouth. Then my content is not for you. And I will not explain what it is I mean. Give yourself a few years, because that's how long it will take for you to go through the process to finally understand the actuality of what I'm saying. Many people are just so interested in being given the opportunity or taking the opportunity to prove how intelligent they are, how aware and how evolved and elevated. Babe, whatever you're going through, it has nothing to do with me, and I will not explain. I won't. Why? Because you're afraid that they'll prove you wrong? No, because I'm not interested in being right or wrong or proving such. I'm simply interested in symposium. And I would bet that the people who have been commenting lately about how I don't make sense, I'm sure that word doesn't make sense to you either, because you never hold symposium, so you have no idea of the gravity of what that means. Symposium has nothing to do with right or wrong. It's about speaking passionately with another person who has the capacity to listen at the same depth of passion you are speaking. And then when it's their turn to speak, they share with the same depth of passion that you are sharing. It is equal. It is a give and give, not a give and take, a give and give. One person giving, the other receiving openly. That person giving and this person receiving openly. Not because one is more right and one is more wrong, but just, I want to learn from you. I want to share with you. And I want you to share with me. And I want to see the world from different eyes, because it's so powerful to see in 360. The only way to do that is to be open to hearing the experiences, the words, the perception and perspective of people outside of yourself, people who don't agree with you, but are open to speaking together. Symposium. I have no interest in being right. I know what I've lived through. I know what I've experienced and the way those experiences have formed my opinions and perspective, as well as shaped my perception. I don't need any more. Outside of symposium, that is. If you have something to share, share it with me. And leave me to decide the degree of importance it has on my journey and the way it will shift me. That is my choice, no one else's. Just like I leave you free to decide how my words will affect you, or if it will affect you at all. It's not offensive to me if you don't resonate. And if my words do not create some degree of like questioning, some degree of, whoa, why do I feel this way? I've never heard of that. Like, what does this mean? I don't have all the answers, but I am a trigger. I know that about myself. I trigger many people. And if you have the courage to recognize, I'm not triggering you, I'm triggering your awareness of yourself. Ooh, the degree of empowerment you will experience. Ooh, and that's all your choice. That is all your choice, right? Whatever you choose is what's going to determine what exactly starts right now. For some of us, there will be things that will try and redirect you, things that will try and get you into a space of trying to prove you know more. You might know more, that's fine, but let me decide what of what you know more of applies to me in my journey. I love being in environments where people are smarter than me. I love to learn. I'm not offended that someone knows more about a given topic than I do. I love to learn. And I have one hell of an ability to discern what is beautifully empowering and will enrich my understanding, and what is just utter nonsense and designed to feed off of me, because as I pay attention to you, you are pulling in my energy. And that's all you wanted, was to get that attention. No, thank you. I don't need any of that. I don't. And no one will convince me that I need to partake in things like that. That's not an even exchange. That is not something that helps me to further my journey into my wholeness. Ah, it's just not. And if it doesn't, whether you intend to or not, if it doesn't, I just leave it be. There's a beautiful thing about sovereignty. I don't need to destroy you to remain intact. I simply have to decide. We're not resonating. We're not aligned. You come from a different type of mindset than I do. And it's time for me to walk away now. It's just a decision. Oh, she's trying to say she's better than me. No, that's your fear rising up because I won't engage you and feed your ego. Your fear of being seen as less than is rising to the surface. You should do something about that. I can't do anything about it. You need to. You should do something about that. Not because you have a problem, but because you deserve to exist in a space of realization of your own wholeness, where other people can't move you from your space of centeredness in the same way I choose not to allow others to do to me. You deserve to meet a version of you that is so far beyond the touching of the grubby, dirty fingers of ego-based people. It's a very beautiful way to exist. I invite all of you to consider trying it out for a little bit. You might like it, you might not. People won't give you permission to enter into that space. Why? Because they need your validation. They need your energy. Your energy feeds their fears, and their fear is hungry. And I've learned I'm not here to feed everyone. Only those who have a palate that is designed to be able to appreciate the flavors and textures. It is what it is. Just because you don't like what I serve up doesn't invalidate either one of us. But if you choose to believe you've been invalidated, that's your choice. So why do I say this? Because I don't want to take accountability? No, I never had control over your journey. I only have ever had control over my own. And being able to speak openly about my stance is me taking full accountability of the ways in which I use my personal power over myself and my personal journey. And no one can force me to do anything outside of that. No one. Is it like a flex to be stubborn? I don't know. I'm starting to see my stubbornness is actually not stubbornness for the most part. I can be stubborn. When I enter into a space of stubbornness, that's me just wanting to prove that you can't do shit to force me to do something you want. That's ego-based. That stubbornness is actually me declaring and deciding, standing intentionally in that space of sovereignty. What's the definition of sovereign? The utmost authority in the land. Your auric field is an auric land. You are the king or queen of it. It's me simply being the royal that I was designed to be. Oh, so you're saying we have to bow to you? I mean, if you'd like to, I won't stop you. Is it required? No, because oftentimes royals won't bow to each other. They'll simply acknowledge they are in the presence of another royal, and that is enough. That is enough, right? When you see someone is on the same level of royalty that you are, etheric royalty, meaning a sovereign, do you have to bow to each other? No. Why? Because sometimes bowing is an indication that you acknowledge you are beneath, below, and you have to show the other that I am not armed. I will not harm you. I am in a position of vulnerability. Therefore, I'm giving you the power to harm me, and I'm trusting that you won't. You see, when I sit across from you and I simply look you in the eyes with no fear and no malice, it's simply me saying, hey, what's up? How have you been? How have you been? How's everything? Yeah, I know life's been crazy, right? It's been so busy, so productive. What's new? That's me acknowledging we are equals and neither of us have to bow. Because even if you would like to threaten or harm me, you have no dominion over me. You will not touch me. You will not access me without my consent. And you will have no effect on me or my journey unless I allow you to. So we can simply exist. You are no threat to me, just as I am no threat to you. And you can enter into that space of that type of existence right now because it all starts now. What starts now? Everything. Everything. Attract sigil. You're no longer just attracting things to you unintentionally with a lack of awareness. So if we're not just attracting things, what's happening? You need to enter into a space of bioelectricity. That magnetism that you've experienced, that's evidence of a lower field of dimensional consciousness. You have a magnetic personality. You're just drawing to you comparable toxicity. Ooh. Comparable toxicity. You ever notice how sometimes you'll be drawn to people because you have the same issues with other people? And then you guys start bonding because of that? Have you ever noticed that sometimes, because you have the same types of fear, the same hesitation, you'll be drawn to someone because, like, they get it, they understand, and you've never had someone understand before why you're so afraid. Fear is not the enemy. But when fear is not allowed to function in the way it was designed to function, which is an alert system, an early alert system, what happens? It becomes crippling. It becomes mistakenly identified as something threatening. So, what is it that needs to happen? You need to remember you can handle everything life brings your way, and that everything life brings your way is really nothing more than the means with which your soul encourages your growth and expansion of awareness of self. So during this event that I had to excuse myself from the group and put myself in a private space at the venue because I could feel fear rising. What was I afraid of? I could not identify. It was an energy that was foreign, but at the same time familiar. And it created some degree of fear in me because what is this? What is this? Can I control it? Can I harness it? Will it harm me? And it was an energy so pronounced. It came from within the earth, an energy so pronounced. I could feel my body reacting in such a way where my nervous system was overwhelmed. And, excuse me, I was at risk of having seizure activity. I did not want to taint the experience of the people who had just arrived. And so I excused myself. And as I sat there with my fear, I realized it was excitement over the power that I was being invited to harness. And then, of course, came all of these different thoughts. What if I can't handle it? What if I can't this? What if I can't that? What if I'm not enough? What if, what if, what if? And you know what I said to myself as I held 2 bottles of frozen orange juice, full-size bottles of frozen orange juice to my vagus nerve? I said, get in control. Not in control of the energy, but in control of the fear that was alerting me to my access to energy that has not been allowed to be hosted on this planetary template in thousands of years. Get in control. And I would get in control and it would surge more. And then I would need to move. And when I moved, it was allowed to flow. And when it flowed, more fear developed because I could feel it through all my systems. And then started some of the tearing of my eyes got teary, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, how am I going to handle this? Oh my God. And then came the fear rooted in perfectionism, this fear of all of these people. Oh, quite a few of them came from international. They traveled all this way. Oh my God, I can't disappoint people. And then came this invitation to acknowledge, have I ever actually disappointed? Have I ever actually failed? No. What if this is the first time? Maybe. Maybe. What if it is the first time? Well, then I'll decide how far it goes. It's not evil, wrong, or destructive to experience something for the first time. It's just not. In that fear, I was forced to see myself in ways that I never thought I would. That is a gift, one that cannot be created and gifted by another man or woman. That is a circumstance so profound that only your soul can authorize that degree of experience. And so I sat there with frozen orange juice that was no longer frozen solid after I was done. Yikes. How much energy did I run through those bottles? Oh, the gravity of it. The gravity of it, creating a circuit with liquid orange, vibrant orange. Why is there gravity to that? And I miss the gravity of this because it has to do with the sacral chakra. This was about me rebirthing myself. Damn. That's a 10-pound baby. That's a 10-pounder bowling ball baby. That's a little butter ball of a baby. It was amazing. It was amazing. And the beautiful thing, it created so much fear in me. But I look back now because hindsight is always 2020. I look back now and it was a way to regulate the experience. It was a way to guide the experience. Such a powerful, profound experience. Every time I would take several steps down to get back to the venue, because I was on the second floor, I would start to shake and I would feel the approach of potential seizure activity through my nervous system. And that was not me losing control. That was not me allowing fear to be overwhelming. That was my soul letting me know you need to give yourself a moment because what's happening right now cannot be rushed. It needs to be allowed to flow. And my team, one by one, came to the second floor for various reasons. As each of them arrived on the second floor, I was there. And I discharged so much of this energy into them to the point that I restabilized. And then I was prepared to return and reunite with my people who were at the venue. And without explanation, the first table I came across, I said to them, one by one, I want you to come to me. One by one, sit with me. Allow me to touch you as you touch me, and I will gift back to you what was always rightfully yours. One by one, people came to me, and that sense of overwhelm, that sense of I can't handle it, it's too much. With each person that I touched, each person that touched me, guess what? I settled more and more deeply into the space that I'm supposed to exist in. And that frantic nature that I was becoming accustomed to. The fear was then recategorized as excitement. It was relabeled as power to be shared with the community that came to see me. Everything is starting now. There will be some videos that I will be releasing, giving the information that all of you need to know. Why things are starting now. I can't do it in this video. I will have to do it later. But everything starts now. And for those of you who are ready to step into that space of really controlling your path, controlling your reaction to it, your response, you might begin to feel some degree of vibration through your entire body. I'm not doing any energy work on anyone right now. I'm not. I'm simply speaking, allowing myself to serve as witness to a process that's being initiated by each of your souls who are willing to allow that experience to be felt. I'm not about forcing anything on anyone. If you're not ready, you're not ready. And when you become ready, rewatch this video. And I promise you'll feel things too. So, judgment. Not allowing anything or anyone to get you caught up in their concepts of being judgmental. What you need to be is non-condemning. Judgment is necessary to further cultivate your discernment. Judgment is a component of discernment. So betrayal. Your soul says no more. You are not allowed to betray yourself to prove to someone who was never worthy of you anyways, that you're worthy. I'm telling you guys, for people who are so hell-bent on not understanding you, you will never do enough, say enough, be enough for them to change their stance. The moment you identify someone as committed to their decision to not understand you, leave it alone. Leave them alone. You guys notice I don't try to sell services onto you. I don't try and coerce you. I don't try and force agreement. Why? Because if you're already committed to not seeing the gravity of what I offer, it's not my place to try and convince you. I know what I can do. I know the ways in which I can change someone's life. Minimal effort. Not everyone is ready or willing to allow their life to be changed. Just through conversation. Just through your presence. As I allow myself to be witnessed openly, with no shame, no guilt, no hesitation. Everything is exactly as it should be. But Emmy, if you can save people, how come you let them walk away? Because some people don't want that. Why wouldn't anyone not want to heal? Well, if you begin to identify as the wound, the healing of that wound erases your identity. That's a scary thought. It's very scary. Not for me, but for those who choose to exists in that way, right? So, what's the right thing to do? Realize that there is no right or wrong, that there is simply intentional choice and passive permission. When you don't intentionally choose the actions that lead to the outcomes that you prefer, you are then giving passive permission to be dragged by life, to be pushed this way and that, further confirming for you in the most twisted way how you have no power or say over your journey. I beg to differ. I don't believe that at all. I believe we all have a tremendous say in the way we will experience things, but some of us just don't want to take responsibility for an outcome they cannot guarantee. The need to guarantee an outcome, that's a major, major red flag. Why is it a red flag? It's indicative of someone's desire to override the divine sovereign will of soul. You will never undo that. You will never override that, not for yourself, not for anyone else. That is a choice that only your soul can make. Do you know how long I've tried to kind of, shrink back into the shadow and not be noticed? I love being a wallflower. I love just observing people and not allowing them to notice me and my presence. I used to do that most of my life. And now I'm not allowed to shrink away. You know how long I've tried? Do you know how much effort I've placed into that? Do you know the things that have happened in my life to get me back in agreement and compliance with what my soul is asking that I do? Yikes. I will never win that fight. I win pretty much everything I initiate. One thing about me, and this still holds true, by the time I engage something, I've found every single possible way to win. And I've identified the very, very few, very, very rare pathways that will lead to my demise. And I've blocked those. By the time I engage something, it's a guaranteed win. Perfectionism, remember? I will not engage unless I can guarantee that I will win that. For those that have tried to be hurtful and harmful to me intentionally over the years and over the last several months, how does it feel to know that I've engaged you? Hearing that now, how does it feel to know that I have actively engaged you? I used to be afraid of my power. I used to be afraid of my tenacity and my commitment, my inability to be distracted and swayed into a different direction. Once I fully commit, I am hyperfixated. There is nothing in my life that I have set out to accomplish with my entirety that I have not accomplished. People have no idea the level at which I operate, and they don't need to know. All people need to know is once I engage you, whether it's in a good way or a bad way, I've already guaranteed the outcome that I chose. There is no other outcome that will come to fruition. Why? Because I will not allow it. Because I will put my everything in making sure the only outcome that comes to full fruition is the one that I've chosen. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? You think I'm unique in this? I'm not. I'm not. You just give up right before you see the outcome be brought to full fruition. You give up, you pull your energy back, and guess what happens? Nothing. Why? Why is it that nothing happens when you've put so much energy and focus into it? Like, Emmy, you said. Yes, I said. And then you decided to cut it off before it actually happened. I don't get a say in that. I don't get a say in that. I see every time I sit in front of someone, every single time someone sits in front of me, I see all the pathways and different potentialities, and I see which one will get you exactly where you want to go. And I'm like, choose that one. Oh my God, you can make this happen. And then people will be like, but I don't want that one. Oh, okay. So what does that mean? It means you've chosen. That's all that means. You see someone else's potential, that's not potential. Someone said this, and it was a very intelligent thing to say. It's very true. The potential you see in others does not exist. That potential is simply what you would do if you were in their shoes. It's what you would do if you were them. Wow. What would you do if you were me? What is it? What potential do you see? How far do you see I could potentially go with my public speaking and my energetic corrective work? How far can I take this? And here's the kicker, because it applies to everyone. No matter how far you think I can take this, I can take it further. I can take it further. How do I know this? Because I know me. Case in point, years ago, I helped someone that was continuing to have strokes and heart attacks. And I was doing it in such a way that the irreparable damage that intrinsically is associated with those types of severe conditions, ischemic conditions, they were not registering on medical diagnostics. Crazy. That's crazy. Right? So then what happened? What happened? I love you, Tawani. You were missed. Don't feel bad. I love you. What happened? What happened? I needed to know that wasn't the only level of potentiality that I could reach. And so what happened? Another difficult thing happened. Another difficult thing. And as that other difficult thing happened, I felt within myself that I left myself with no other options. That as soon as the individual involved would consent, I would do things that medical science cannot explain. And that was a potential that I saw. And I did believe it at first. And then the desperation and the fear kicked in. And as that happened, you know what else happened? The dissolving of the barrier I created that limited my ability to produce the result that I saw. I know for a fact medical science cannot explain some of my skill set. Why? Because what I'm talking about is end-stage heart failure. I'm talking about my sibling. I'm talking about a team so specialized in cardiac care that when my sibling was away on business, he went to another hospital and his heart failure didn't register. And that team at that trauma center acknowledged how good of a team he has. And you know how I know what I did was messianic level healing? You know what messianic means? An event so miraculous, it's on the level of a Messiah. How do I know it was a messianic level healing event? Because his team was so confused as to what happened that they kept him on their patient list for another 6 months, trying to see what was going on and why did his heart failure disappear. When I say end stage, he was at 7, single digit, 7% ejection fraction rate. That's the percentage of blood his heart can pump through his body. 7%. Ooh. Being prepared for an LVAD surgery during that time. All of this is medically documented. All of this unexplainable. Once your heart, especially the left ventricle, is enlarged, it doesn't shrink back to its original size. Anyone who knows anything about modern medicine knows when you have heart failure, only thing you can do is preserve the function that is left for as long as you possibly can with the awareness, the knowledge that no matter how hard you try, no matter if you do everything perfectly, eventually at some point, it will decrease and decrease and decrease in function until you are at death's door. You know, I'll share this with you guys because it's all over social media. So my brother was supposed to die. They gave him a prognosis of 3 days to 3 weeks to live. That was in August of 2020. It's May 23rd of 2025. Not only is he still alive, not only does he not have registerable heart failure, this fool took on a trained MMA athlete. This is someone half his age, more than half, less than half his age. This is an athlete who is trained, conditioned to take hits. Yeah, in his 20s, I believe. Yeah. Guy acted up, so my sibling gave him a third eye activation, knocked him across the fucking room. I saw the video. Y'all might be like, oh, I don't know why you're celebrating violence. No, I'm not celebrating violence, but I am celebrating the correction of someone who has no honor and no dignity, because that's an athlete that would surprise choke even their own team members. They would choke them out, jump on them from behind and choke them out for no reason, just because he can. And I was cracking up seeing this video because guess what? He rocked him so hard. This guy got up, didn't know who to fight. And I was like, ooh, third eye activation. He's seeing auras for the first time. This dude is seeing the demons that live in people for the first time. And he's like, who's he going to fight? Who's he going to fight? To the person who once threatened to unalive my sibling because he has a weak heart, I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would show up at his house. Show up. Show up. No fear. No one had to tell him to correct this individual. He just went up and corrected it. Like, you're not going to disrespect my team. You're going to know your place. You're going to know your place. Messianic level healing. When you trust in me and you allow me to facilitate your journey, I know the pathways. I know the pathways. I know which path will get you to where you want to be, and I'll show you how to get there. Why? For clout? Show me where I've shared the bulk of the miraculous work I've done over the course of nearly 10 years being publicly visible. For the most part, the world does not know what it is I actually do. People will claim, I do what she does. Yeah, tell me what I do. Tell me what it is I do and replicate it. You can't. Why? Because what I do is strictly between the self and the soul. That's it. You want to get to a space where you feel powerful in yourself, you need to allow yourself to build yourself up. You need to allow yourself to build yourself up. What does this mean? Speaking cocky? No. Was there anything cocky in the way I spoke? Simply sharing things that have been documented. My whole life has been documented for nearly 10 years now, publicly documented. The ways in which soul has asked me to grow, asked me to expand in my awareness of myself within my journey. It's been documented. Thousands of videos. Thousands of videos. Millions of views. Does that make me popular? No. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't like me. Why? Because I exist. In my existence, there's a monkey wrench in their ego-based bullshit. So what's that have to do with me? Absolutely nothing. This is about me harnessing my power in the way I choose. How do I choose to harness it? In a way that will help while respecting the sovereignty of others. For those that went to the event, I want you to think of something right now. Think of the ways in which your health has struggled and suffered. Shell, I'm just talking as usual. I'm just blubbering on. Think of the ways in which your health has struggled. For example, if you've struggled with diabetes, if you've struggled with your thyroid, you've struggled with needing to lose weight, anything like that, just think of it. It's not many people who are allowed to join me on the event, but if you were present, think of that. Feel your body vibrate. And as your body vibrates, feel the expansion. Expansion of what? I don't know. In what ways are you expanding? Now track your symptoms for the next few weeks. Let me know how long it takes for all the symptoms to go away. How would this be possible? Because you're going to allow it. Notice and keep track of any prescription medication that you're needing to take and how much that medication must be lowered in dosage by your doctor, not by you, by your doctor. Pay attention to your symptom presentation. Is it lessening in intensity? And for some of you, you're feeling it already, and it's causing you to get teary-eyed. It's causing you to feel elevations of emotion. That's okay. Let those emotions be released. It's called a somatic release. And in that release, you're letting go of the emotional, energetic causation that gave rise to the disease state to begin with. Let it happen. I don't need to access you. I already gave you everything you need the moment you sat with me on that sofa and allowed me to hold you while you held me. So let it happen. You don't need to be baptized in the flames. You don't need to be destroyed. You simply need to allow the shift. 1 degree at a time, a shifting like the turning of a dial, 1 station at a time. You're not being asked to be a different person. You're being asked to allow yourself to let go of the weight, the obligation, and that obligatory existence you've held on to because of loyalty, because you've been asked by the people you love, the need to people please, all these different things. Let it go. And if you don't know how to let go, feel yourself holding it tight in your hand. That thought, that emotion, that blockage, hold it tight in your hand. And then relax your grip. Feel the things slide between your fingers like grains of sand falling away from your hand. All you have to do to let go is open. Not force, not rush, not any of those things. Just open. Now, once you let go, let your soul decide what it will place in your hands. Because your hands were not designed to remain empty for the rest of your life. They were designed to be able to hold all the things your soul places in them. So let them be emptied and open when soul asks you to receive. Life's about to change for so many of us. I welcome it. I invite it. I encourage it. I amplify it. To say I'm no longer afraid, that's an understatement. To say that I'm ready, that's an understatement too. I will put it in this way. I have found my seat and I'm seated in it, getting myself nice and comfortable for the long haul. No one will remove me from where I've chosen to sit. Not myself, not my fear, not any person or thing outside of me. When the time comes for me to sit in a different space, my soul will inform me, and I will ever so gracefully stand up, walk to my new place, and have another seat. It's time. And it all starts right now. Allow it. Okay? I got to get going. Ooh, 5:23 at 1:11. I love this. 5:23, change. 5. 23, 2 plus 3 is 5. So they're mirrors, but this is a mirror that's been broken into components. You're being guided to the proper foundation that will facilitate the change, the mirroring, right? 1:11. That's 3. 3 being what? Solid foundation from which to build. You're being invited to build the future for yourself. You already have the specs. You have all the tools. You have all the learning through multiple lifetimes of being taught by your soul, by circumstance, by the interference of others. You have everything you need. Use it. Use it. And then smile. Enjoy yourself as you build the life that's worthy of you. I got to get going, guys. So, in a couple of weeks, I'll be doing the Baneful Protection Workshop for those who are on all platforms except for TikTok. You can simply click on the QR code or the link in the comment that will take you to where you can sign up. There's limited seating for this event. This is the final time, I reiterate, this is the final time you will have an opportunity to join me for this specific type of learning. For those who are on TikTok, simply go to the link in my bio. Click on that, click on the Hoobie, and then you'll find the Baneful Protection Workshop. This is where I teach you extremely ancient information that was originally allowed to be released to the human population by way of their spiritual leaders in order to negate the efforts of the fallen. Baneful magic is not intrinsically evil, but it is very common for people to misuse it these days. I'm not going to be teaching you how to curse people, how to hex or any of that. That's not how I roll. I will, however, teach you how to create a boundary so strong with consequences so profound that motherfuckers will wish they never, ever tried you. I gotta go, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already subscribed. Please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. If you are on TikTok, go ahead and follow me so you can find me again. No matter what platform you're on, if you choose to follow me, it's important that I always remind you guys, you are not a follower of mine. You are simply announcing to the world you are a part of my community. I don't have followers. I have community. There is no other rightful place where you belong outside of side by side with me, shoulder to shoulder. You are not to follow me, and you are not to try and force me to follow you. We walk together as equals towards a beautiful potential that only we can create. So allow it. I'll see you guys again